In this worksheet called date time formats, we see some date entries in column B and we see some time entries in column E and column D. So now in column B, the date is displayed in a standard format. Now when I say standard format, it means that most of the people in the United States follow this format. So it's MMDDYY. So we have the month first, the day and the year. Imagine the display in column B, which you would want it to be a narrow one. So if you just right click on column B and go to format cells, then go to date, and you have different date formats you can choose one from. So I will choose the second one. Click on OK. So I have 01 as my date, January, the entire word as a month, and then I have the year. So if I have only single year, so which is the case right now, I have only 2010 entries. So I will again go to right click, go to format cells, and I will select a format and then go to custom, and I see all the changes that I can do while I understand this code. So I will just remove the extras from here, and instead of day, I will just use 3 Ds so that I have the day Friday as FRI, and then I have 4 months, 4 M's. So I will just remove the extra M. So I have just Jan instead of January, and then I have D. Then I will just remove the extra D so that I have 1st January 01 as 1, and then I can just remove these 2 extra. So I have just 10 instead of 2010. So I click on OK, and I have Friday, Jan 1, 10. So let's try another format. I will again select the column B, right click, format cells, and now we have this custom date format which we have already chosen. So I will go back to the date category and select another one. So I will just use March 14, 2012 format, and I will then go to custom format. And now while I cannot see a preview here right below the sample listing, so I will just cancel this. I will just select any of the entries, click on column B, press tab so that my cursor moves down from the header to a cell below. I can use any number of tabs. And now I right click, go to format cells, and now I have the custom already selected. I will go to date. I will use this, the one we discussed just now, and now I can see the sample. So now that I already selected a format from the date category, I will go to custom, and I will just remove these extras. So I see that nothing is being changed right under the sample. I will remove this, and now as soon as I remove the extra Y's, I remove 2 extra Y's. So I see that 2010 has now become 10. And if I remove 1 extra M, I see January as Jan. And I have already single D for the date, so that's okay. I will click on OK, and so is the effect. Now a small tip. Now whenever you get into a format cells dialog box, you always see, I will just use this, go to format cells, you always see the number tab selected. However, maybe you have chosen something from the alignment tab and you have made some changes in the alignment. So next time you go to format cells, you will be brought to the alignment tab again. So you have to go to numbers tab and then you make the changes accordingly. So we will see another few examples of the date formats. We'll see this, and we can make some changes by then going to custom category, and we can remove these extras. So we can just use M, and we have the number format, and we can just remove these 2 Y's. Then we have the simple date format. Click on OK, and then we have just the simple date format, just in case you have large data to display it and you are conscious to display your data in a much compact way. Now let's take another look at one final format example. So I will just use this control space bar, control 1, and I have this. Now under custom category, you can also mention your own format, or you can type in your own format. I will use date. We have month, so I will use MMM, and then I can use space also, and I can use, so I will just cancel this because it does not show a preview. So I will just use some tabs, go to format dialog box again, and now I can use some of my own custom format. So I will use dates for, let's use MMDDYY format. So I will use MMM. So I have Jan. So if I want entire word spelled out, so I will use 4Jan, 4M, sorry. And then I have date. So I will use a single D. And then I have the year. So I will use YYYY. So I have the date displayed as right below the sample. So I will click on OK, and I have the date displayed the way I want it. So that was date formatting. And if it is time in column D and A, actually those are same times, just displayed or formatted differently. Here too, to display time differently, simply right click and go to format cells, and then we have the number tab, and then we have the time category. So I have chosen this second format as my time format. I will just cancel this. I will select the entire D column, press tab so that my cursor moves down, and then I can simply right click, go to format cells, select time format, go to custom, and then we have the custom formatting where we can make changes to our existing time format. So I will just remove this extra. So I can just use a double entry for hours, and I can also add seconds, and I can also add AM/PM, and just click on OK, and I have a detailed time format. So if you remember, Excel stores time and date as integer and serial values. So I will just select this column again, go to right click, format cells, and then we have a lot of different options and choices as well. So I will just use another and see how we can make some changes in that. So I will just, since we don't have a date, so I will not select the last two entries. I will just use this time format, go to custom, and then we can just remove these extras. Now, whenever a H for R is displayed within square bracket, it denotes that the R can be represented above and beyond 24 hours. So maybe these formatting are used when you have a total, when you have to calculate total number of hours. So we can still use this in this case as well. So I will just click on OK. However, we will not see anything above 24 because we have a time which is within the 24-hour format. So we have this case, and which is identical to something in column E. So I will just make few changes in column C and see what options do we have in time formatting. Alright, so let's take one last example on how we can customize a given time format. So I have already selected this, so I can just move my cursor little down, press Control space bar, then press Control 1. And I have this dialog box which will also allow me to see the preview. So I have to choose one time format. I will use this, then go to custom, and I will just remove these extras from the end and beginning. And now I have a single H, so I will just use that. I will have single M and single S. So I will click on OK, and I will see that 7 hours is not represented as 07, but it's being displayed as 7 hours, 44 minutes and 45 seconds. And here we have a case where we have 06 seconds, so it's being displayed as 6 seconds. And here we have 3 hours, 45 minutes and 0 seconds. So let's select this, go to format cells and make few more changes. So I can now use double H, double M, and double S, or maybe we can just remove this AM PM and click on OK. So I have a 24-hour format because we have removed AM PM. So if you want to include AM PM back again, you can just mention AM/PM. So I will click on OK, and I have those formats back again. So I have nothing beyond 12 because I have used AM PM. So that's all we have for date and time formats. But there is one small shortcut which you can use. For dates, if you want a simple format, you can use shortcut combination of keys, Control Shift and 3, or the hashtag key. I will just select this, Control Shift 3. And for time, you can use Control Spacebar to select the entire column, and then you can use the shortcut keys Control Shift 2 or the ampersand, and there we have a simple time format.